In Chief Architect, when you get an area completely surrounded by walls, railings, or invisible walls, you define that area as a room. Once you've defined the area as a room, you can assign a room type. If you select the room, and then use your Open Object tool to open the Room Specification dialog, Chief has given us specific room types to assign. The room types don't just name the room, they bring with that room type defaults for how this room will be built, including the ceiling heights of the room, the floor heights, the ceiling structure, the floor structure, and the ceiling and floor finishes. We now have the option in Chief Architect to create your own room types. For instance, if I want this office to be named a den, I'll select that office, use my Open Object tool, and you can see here the room type, but I don't have a den room type. I could simply rename it by unchecking this Use Default for room name and then typing in a different name. Or now I can create a new room type. Next to Office, I'll click on Define. This will open the Room Types dialog and show me all of the available room types. I'll start with the Office because it has all of the defaults set up for that room type that I want. I'll go ahead and copy that room type and we'll name this a den. Once you've created the room type, you then give it the function of that room. In this case, it's going to have the living function. Then you decide if it'll be included in the total living area and whether or not it'll be a conditioned space. Then you'll set up the defaults for the ceiling structure, the ceiling finish, the floor finish, and the floor structure for this room type. In this case, the floor finish is set up to be the light medium plank flooring. If you want something different, you can click on Select Material, go into the Library browser, go into Flooring, and select a different type of material. I'll go ahead and click OK here, and then I'll need to make sure to use the default room name. We now have our new den room type. Instead of a living and dining room, you may want to create a new room type for a great room. I'll go ahead and double-click inside of this room to open the Room Specification dialog. Then I'll click on Define to open the room types. I'll copy the living room type, name this new room type the Great Room, keep the living room function, use the default for living area and conditioned room, and I'll go ahead and leave the structure as it is. Make sure that the room name is using the default and click OK. So in Chief Architect, we have the option to assign room types to each defined room and create our own custom room types.
After you have your first floor completed, we are ready to build our foundation. Chief Architect can build a variety of foundation types by going to Build, Floor, and Build Foundation. From here we can give Chief information on how we want to build our foundation. If we select Automatically Rebuild Foundation, anytime our exterior walls on our first floor are changed, our foundation will change accordingly. We can also select the foundation type we want, whether it's walls with footings, grade beams on piers, or monolithic slab, how thick the slab is, and how high our stem walls are. If we wanted a full basement, we would change the height of our stem walls here. Additionally, if we have a room set up to be a garage, when we build our foundation, Chief will build a slab under our garage room. And we can set options for our sill plate. I want a crawl space, so I'm going to leave it at the 37.5 inch stem wall height and press OK. This box is asking me if we want to derive a new foundation plan from the first floor plan or have a blank plan that we can just manually draw in our foundation walls. But I want to derive a new foundation from the first floor, so I'm going to press OK. And let's take a look at our foundation and a perspective floor overview. I'm going to go ahead and drag this side by side with our floor plan. You will notice how a 37.5 inch stem wall was made for the main body of our house and a slab for our garage. In our floor plan view, you will notice that we are on floor 0. If we go back to the first floor and edit one of our exterior walls, you will notice that the foundation does not change. This This is because we have the automatically rebuild foundations unchecked, so we will have to manually change this. Let's go back to our foundation level, grab this wall, and bump it out. We can also use our foundation wall tool to manually add foundation walls to provide more support or create multiple rooms if we wanted both a basement and a crawl space.